Our key takeaways. For each of you, what are the most important things in your presentation you think attendees should keep top of mind as they leave today? Let's start with you, Vevel Friedman.
Sure. I think that, this is an emerging space in terms of both the technological developments as well as the varied applications in which it's being put into. And courts have yet to really test the various theories that are being placed forward. Kyle and I are working on some of these cases, and it's interesting to try to take, a cause of action that developed in 1700s England and apply it to an asset class that couldn't have even been imagined back then. So, generally, for a lot of things, there you can find some analogies for it, but mostly just stay on top of it. Just like any other developing area, kind of read the various high-profile news developments that come out on it, and thankfully, because there's so little material on it, doing some reading and catching up on the most recent cases or articles isn't that difficult if you have a specific area you want to look into. So I guess it's kind of general advice, but I think it's kind of where I would, or what I've been doing, and obviously it helps to have people who are really subject matter experts in this, like Kyle. But at the same time, reach out to people who are experts, and if you have any questions, and via email or phone, and I think that's the best way to keep abreast.
Kyle Roche.
Yeah, so we talked a bit about how government agencies are interacting with these exchanges and the development for individuals of tax guidelines and how your property is going to be treated, or how regulators are going to look at transactions engaged by individuals in the U.S. when it comes to digital assets. And I would say that there's a lot of commentary out there that a lot of the regulations we talked about earlier are bad for cryptocurrency, that the government's slow-moving approach to regulating these assets is bad. I would caution those people against thinking that, and against thinking that, because they see perceived stalls in the development of the cryptocurrency market, that it's a sign of, weakness in it overall. I think these are just natural parts of new tech, the natural life cycle of a new technology taking form in day-to-day life, and how regulators interact with, and regulators and lawmakers develop rules and regulations to both regulate and protect against criminal use, as well as develop laws that are designed to protect the consumer. I think these are all good things that will, of course, there'll be bumps in the road, but as time goes on, like the internet, I do believe that the United States agencies have been pretty good at fostering growth in new technological spheres.
Katie Van Cohorn, you get the last word.
Sure. I think my number one takeaway is to keep a list of your passwords and keep track of your private key, because those are easily lost and not, in the case of the private key, not recoverable. Second, to remember that what individuals want and what fiduciaries are able to do may be in conflict, particularly if you're a professional fiduciary and RUFADA doesn't give you all the access that you need. And lastly, to just look for litigation and best practices to come out as RUFADA is adopted in more and more states. It's almost universal across the U.S. right now. So we should see that law develop in the next few years.